This is one of Fitness Blender's butt lifting workouts. For this routine, you're going to need a chair or a bench and an optional set of dumbbells. We're going to be doing 3 rounds of 8 different exercises for a total of 33 minutes. Let's go ahead and get started with round number 1. Our first exercise is a downward dog with a leg raise. Get ready and begin. Move into that downward dog position. You want a nice straight leg and a nice straight line from that hip all the way down to that wrist, so that chest and arm is in a nice straight line. That left leg's going to start lifting up straight back behind you. Nice tight squeeze on that butt as that leg gets to the top. Then nice and slow, drop it back down. Barely tap that toe before you lift that leg again. Just keep concentrating on keeping that chest nice and low. As those shoulders start to get tired from holding this position, that chest is going to start trying to tip up on you a little bit, and all that's going to do is make you lose range of motion on that leg. So really try to keep that chest down. We're almost done. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and switch those legs. Start back into that motion on that right leg this time. Same thing, keep that chest nice and low. That right leg's nice and straight. Kick it up as high as you can. Nice tight squeeze on that butt. Then slowly drop it down. Barely tap that toe to the ground. And right back up again. Just a couple more. And here's your last one right here. Nice tight squeeze. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the squats with a leg kick back. Get ready. And begin. Nice deep squat in the middle. Then you come up onto one leg. That opposite leg kicks back behind you like you're trying to kick yourself in the butt. Then nice and slow back down to that squat. And then alternate over to that other leg. Now try to get a little bit of a hop on this as you kick that leg up back behind you. And the harder you push into that hop, the more that leg's going to have to work. Just got one more on each leg. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the standing rear leg raises. You might need something to help you keep your balance on this one. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. So standing on that left leg, bring that right leg up behind you. You only want to use that top of that range of motion, so don't worry about getting that leg all the way back down to the ground. Just want about a foot range of motion from the very, very top as high as you can get that leg, back down about a foot, and then right back up again. You just want a nice short range of motion. Almost done. And go ahead and let that leg relax. We're going to switch legs, same thing on the other side. So standing on that right leg this time. Bring that left leg up back behind you. A nice short range of motion, nice short pulse. Get a nice tight squeeze in that butt. Almost done. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. This is a butt twister. Get ready. And begin. That left leg comes up. Keep that knee bent about a 90-degree angle. You're going to draw a circle counterclockwise back behind that hip. Nice big circle as wide as you can get it from left to right and up and down. But try not to let those hips tilt left to right or front to back. You're trying to keep those hips nice and stationary. The only thing that's moving is that thigh around that hip socket. Now go ahead and reverse the direction of that circle so you're going clockwise now. Same nice big circle, trying to get as much range of motion on that hip as you can. Almost done. Just one more back around. And go ahead and let that one relax. We're going to switch it over to the other side. So that right leg's going to come up this time. Remember, 90 degree on that knee. Trying to get a nice big counterclockwise circle on that knee. all around that hip joint. Try to keep those hips as stationary as possible. And go ahead and swap that circle direction. You're going back clockwise this time. Just keep that motion nice and wide, up and down, left to right. Keep those hips stationary. Make sure you get a nice tight squeeze at the top of that range of motion, at that top of that circle. Almost done, just a few more repetitions. And here's your last one right here, nice big circle. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. This is a swinging bridge. Get ready. And begin. Come up into that bridge shoulder prep position. Those hips nice and high. Then you're going to swing them left to right. Try to get them all the way over to the left as far as you can go, all the way to the right as far as you can go. So this should essentially shift your weight from left to right, so that left hip has to do all the work, or that left glute has to do all the work, and then that right side, that right glute has to do all the work. Just keep swinging them back and forth, kind of dip them down underneath and tighten them up as you shove that hip, that left side up really high, then swing it back down, shove that right side up really nice and high. Just keep that motion going. Just got one more on each side, back to the left, and let it relax. All right, the next one is the step-up kickbacks. We're going to be alternating on this one. Go ahead and grab that chair or a bench if you have one handy. Get ready. And begin. Step up into that chair, onto that bench, and squeeze that back leg up behind you as high as you can. Nice tight squeeze on that glute muscle, then right back down again. So you should be getting a nice tight squeeze, not only in that front leg from having to push up into that chair or into that bench, but you should be getting a nice tight squeeze on that back leg as well from having to raise it back behind you. Now just make sure you're taking your time with a nice slow controlled motion. You don't want to lose your balance on this one. Almost done, just one more on each side. And here's your last one right here, nice tight squeeze. And let it relax. All right, next one is an assisted single leg lunge. This one you're going to use that bench or that chair again. Get ready. And begin. Place one leg back behind you on that chair or that bench. That other leg is going to be straight in front of you. You want to try to take a nice deep step with this one, because the further out you have that step, the easier it's going to be to do that lunge motion without letting that knee go too far over those toes. So you basically turn this into a single leg squat. That back leg's there just for a little bit of extra support in case you need some help getting back up. So make sure that majority of your weight is on that front leg. Got two more repetitions. Try to get nice and low. And let it relax. All right, we're going to switch sides. So kick that opposite leg back in that chair or on that bench. We'll start again. Remember, nice low lunge on this one. Try to keep as much of your weight in that front leg as you can to make it more challenging for that leg. Remember that back leg's there for just a little bit of extra support in case you need help getting back up. Almost done. Just got one more. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. This is a plie squat with an upright row. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. This is very similar to a wide squat or a sumo squat. The only difference is you want to actually have those feet facing in as close to opposite directions as you can handle. So really try to open that foot up as much as you can. Try to point those knees out to the side. Now that upright row motion is you're going to start with those hands down between those legs in that squat. Then as you come up, you're going to pull those hands up to that collarbone level. But make sure you keep those elbows pointing up nice and high. You want to actually keep those above the height of that hand at all times. So as you bring that arm up, it's going to want to bring that hand to collarbone, and those elbows are going to be wanting to point down. But you want to shove them pointing straight up towards the sky. Almost done. Just a couple more repetitions. There's your last one right here. Nice tight squeeze at the top. Get those elbows up. And let it relax. All right. Go ahead and pause it here if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to start right back into round number 2. Starting back over with a downward dog with a leg raise. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Walk out into that downward dog position. Go ahead and press that chest down between those arms, trying to get a nice straight line from your hip all the way down to that wrist. Then that left leg's going to come up back behind you. Nice tight squeeze as high up as you can. Then drop it down, barely tap that toe to the ground, and right back up again. Just keep reminding yourself to press that chest down towards the floor. Just got a couple more repetitions. Here's your last one right here. And go ahead and let it relax. Switch those sides. Reset that downward dog position. Really shove that chest down between those arms. Bring that right leg up this time. Really nice tight squeeze on that butt. Slowly back down. Barely tap that toe. Right back up again. So have a couple more repetitions. And here's your last one right here. Nice tight squeeze. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the squat with leg kickback. Get ready. And begin. So remember, a nice deep squat in the middle. Then hop up on one leg, kicking the opposite leg back behind you. Then right back down into that squat. Really shove up onto that leg. You almost want to make this into a plyometric type of exercise where you're really trying to hop up nice and high. Just a few more repetitions through. Two left. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. And moving on to the next one is a standing rear leg raise. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Stand up against something or grabbing onto the back of a chair if you need a little extra balance. Otherwise, just standing on that left leg, bring that right leg back behind you as high as you can. Remember, just about a foot long range of motion there. Up as high as you can, drop it a foot, and then squeeze it right back up. Almost done. And let that one relax. We're going to go ahead and switch legs. So plant that right foot. Bring that left leg back up behind you. And again, nice tight squeeze. Pulling that leg up as high as you can. Drop it only about 12 inches or so, and then press it right back up again. Almost done. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one, the butt twisters again. Down on all fours for this one. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember, nice wide circle with that hip, going counterclockwise first. Really focus on getting a nice tight squeeze at the top of the range of that motion, the top of that circle. Also focus on trying not to let those hips tilt. You don't want them to tip forward or back or left to right. Bring that leg up again, nice tight squeeze, and reverse the direction of that circle. So going clockwise this time. Trying to press that circle out as wide as you can. Remember to watch those hips. Don't let them tip forward or backward. If they're tipping forward too much, if that back's starting to arch, you're trying to lift that leg too high. Almost done. Just got one more. And let that knee drop. You can go ahead and switch sides. So bring that right leg up this time. Starting counterclockwise with that leg. Nice big circles as wide as you can. Get a nice tight squeeze at the top of the range of that motion. One more round. Pause it and reverse that direction. So going back clockwise this time. Really work on the size of that circle. Really pressing it out, especially up towards the top. Just two more circles. One more round. Nice tight squeeze up the top. And let that knee drop and let it relax. Alright, go ahead and flip it over onto your back for the swinging bridge next. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Get those hips up there nice and high. Go ahead and start rocking those hips back and forth, getting a nice low dip in the center each time. Slowly squeezing it up. Left side, squeezing with just that left hip. And then off to the right side, squeezing with just that right hip. Really pressing through those glutes, trying to shove those hips up as high as you possibly can. So have one more on each side. Back over the left and let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. Go ahead and grab that step or that bench for this one. This is the step up kickbacks. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Stepping up with that right leg, kicking that left leg back behind you. Then alternate over to the other side. Same thing. Remember, take your time in this one. You don't want to lose your balance on it. And also, the slower you go, the more those muscles have to work, the more toning and strengthening you're going to get out of those butt muscles and those thigh muscles. Almost done. One more on each side. Back on that left leg. Squeeze that right leg back and let it relax. All right, the next one is the assisted single leg lunge. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Kick that leg up back in that chair or on that bench. Go ahead and lunge down as far as you can. Nice and slow. That back leg's there just for a little bit of extra support, help you out with that balance and helping you get back up if that front leg's a little bit too weak. Just try to push that range of motion as far as is comfortable. Almost done. This is your last one right here. And let it relax. Go and switch those legs. Same exact thing, this time with that left leg in front. Nice low lunge. Try to keep that knee back as best you can, but it's okay if it pushes over a little bit. Just try to get really nice and low. Try to get those hips down almost to that knee level if it's possible. And just keep that motion going nice and slow, under control. Almost done. Couple more. One left. And let that one relax. Go ahead and move on to the next one. This is the plie squat with an upright row. Go ahead and grab those dumbbells if you have them handy. Get ready. And begin. Nice deep plie squat in the center. Toes facing opposite directions. And then that upright row, pulling those dumbbells up to that collarbone, pressing those elbows up nice and high. Really focus on getting those elbows way above the height of that shoulder. Also, pay attention to the depth of that squat. You want to get really nice and low, really push down, try to get those hips below the height of that knee if you can. Then slowly press it right back up. Alright, we're almost done. Just have one more squat and one more upright row. And there's your last row right there. And let it relax. Alright, go ahead and pause it here if you need a little extra rest. Otherwise, we're moving right on to round number 3. Let's go ahead and start back over with the downward dog with leg raise. Get ready. And begin. Walk out onto that downward dog position. Go ahead and press that chest down in between those arms. You want to get a nice straight line from those hips down to those wrists. Then lift that left leg up nice and high. Tight squeeze on that butt every time you get up to the top. Barely tap that toe at the bottom. Just keep that motion going. Just 2 more repetitions. And here's your last one right here. Nice tight squeeze. Go ahead and let that leg drop. You're going to switch over that right leg this time. Reset that downward dog position. Really pressing that chest down towards the floor. Get that head down between those arms. And lifting that right leg up nice and high. Tight squeeze at the top. Barely tapping that toe at the bottom. Just 2 more repetitions. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. And let's move on to the squats with a leg kickback. Get ready. And begin. Go ahead and get a nice deep squat. Come up on that left leg, kicking that right leg back. Then immediately switch over to that right leg, kicking that left leg back. Keep that motion going. Nice deep squat in the middle. Nice hop on each leg as you alternate back and forth. Almost done. Just one more on the other side. And let it relax. All right, next one is a standing rear leg raise. Remember, if you need a little bit of help with balance on this one, you can use a wall or a chair. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Standing up nice and straight and tall. Kick that right leg back behind you. Nice tight squeeze the top of that range of motion. You're just doing a short pulse, about 12 inches in length. Nice tight squeeze up as high as you can. Drop about 12 inches and then squeeze it right back up again. Almost done. And go ahead and let that leg relax. We're going to switch you over to that left leg next. So plant that right leg, squeezing that left leg back behind you as tight as you can. Remember, it's just that short range of motion, just about 12 inches. Try to keep that torso as straight up and down as you can. Almost done. Just a few more pulses. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. This is the butt twister. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Bring that left leg up first. Doing a counterclockwise circle with that knee. Trying to get a really nice big circle. Trying to get all that motion just coming from that hip joint. You want to try to actually keep those hips perfectly stationary. Keep that knee locked to that 90-degree angle. Just a nice big circle, tight squeeze at the top of that range of motion. Just keep it going. And go ahead and reverse directions, going back to a clockwise circle. Keep pushing the range of that motion as much as you can. And we're almost done. One more round. And go ahead and let it relax. All right, switch those legs. Bring that right leg up back behind you. Again, starting with that counterclockwise circle. Nice big circle, squeezing it up as high as you can at the top of that range of motion. Leg up and freeze it. Reverse that circle, going clockwise this time. Keep pressing up to the top of that range of motion as much as you can. Getting as big of a circle on that hip as possible. Almost done. Last one, nice big squeeze, and let it relax. All right, going on to the swinging bridge next. Go and flip over onto your back. Get ready. And begin. Squeeze those hips up there nice and high. Go ahead and start rocking them back and forth. Squeezing up on that left side really nice and high, then switching it back over the right. Back and forth, getting a nice deep drop in the middle each time. Really getting a tight squeeze on that individual glute, on that individual side, each time you cross back and forth. Almost done. One more on each side. Back to the left, nice tight squeeze. And let those hips drop and let it relax. All right, next one is a step up kickback. So I'm going to grab that bench or that chair. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Go ahead and step up into that chair, squeezing that opposite leg back behind you nice and tight. Step back down, alternate those legs, and step up again. Nice tight squeeze every time with that back leg. Remember, the slower you go on this one, the slower you step up into that chair, the slower you raise that back leg, the more you're going to get out of those legs. The more burn you're going to get, the more tone you're going to get. All right, almost done. You have one more on each side. And back on that left leg. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. This is the assisted single leg lunges. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. And place that left leg back behind you on that chair, that bench. Lunging down forward on that right leg as much as you can, as low as is comfortable. Then pressing it right back up. Remember that left leg is back there just for a little bit of help for balance or a little bit of help getting back up. Just make sure you're trying to really push that full range of motion. Just a couple more repetitions. And here's your last one right here. Nice deep lunge. And go ahead and let it relax. Switch those legs. So that right leg's going to go back in that chair. All that weight's now on that left leg. And start again. Nice deep lunge. And right back up. Almost done. Just 2 more repetitions. Here's your last one right here. And let it relax. All right, moving on to that plie squat with an upright row. Go ahead and grab those dumbbells. Get ready. And begin. Go ahead and get a nice deep plie squat with those hands down between those legs. Come right back up, pulling those dumbbells back up to that collarbone. Shoving those elbows up by those ears, getting them really nice and high. Then drop right back into that plie squat. Just make sure those knees and those toes are pointing as close to opposite directions as you can handle. Just keep that motion going nice and slow, under control. Almost done. Just a couple more repetitions. Nice high row. One more. Nice deep squat. Upright row, getting those elbows up nice and high. And let it relax. Good job. You just completed one of Fitness Blender's butt lifting workouts. Now go to fitnessblender.com to find out how many calories you just burnt. Fitness Blender is a 100% free resource. So help us keep it free by sharing this video or one of our others on your favorite social networking site.